Good day everyone, I am Amrin Jombangan Taliban, B.Ed 2B. Our discussion for today is all about instructional planning cycle. Instructional planning system is the systematic selection of educational goals and objectives and their design for use in the classroom. Educational goals provide assistive mission and purpose, so the more you are aware of your mission and purpose in teaching area of content, the more you will be able to explore your students to learn. Teachers should set their learning target and objectives, ensure learning attention of their lesson, which students by allowing students to know the purpose of a lesson or a task. They will be able to make better decisions about the ways and means to achieve what they are expected to learn. It is crucial that teachers take steps to reflect not only on their delivery of instruction, but the quality of learning is taking place in the classroom. Remember that a great teacher reflect on their practice and keep learning. They keep building their strength and working on their weaknesses. A simple way to perform instructional planning cycle is to do these 3 steps. So the stage 1, stating intended instructional outcomes, stage 2, planning, and the stage 3, assessment. Intended instructional outcomes, it refers to what teachers can do, accomplish, and achieve. Also, instructional intended outcomes do not describe what students will do, but what students can learn. Instructional outcomes must reflect important learning and lend themselves to various forms of assessment, so that all students will be able to demonstrate their understanding about the learning content. Intended instructional outcomes, it also says that the effective teachers must begin with the instructional cycle, which is they should prepare their lesson plan that includes the learning content and preliminary activities, but most importantly is the objectives. Because objectives, this will be your foundation upon which you can build your lessons and assessment. And by the help of the objectives, students will be identify what lessons or content will be addressed. At this stage, teacher has a clear idea of what students need to know, understand, and be able to do to meet the standards. So the stage 2 planning will be discussed to us by Mr. Samir Ukum.
Good morning everyone, I am Samir P. Ukum from BED 2A. I will discuss the stage 2 planning. In this stage, the teacher are the planning his/her learners' activities to their learners. And then, the are preparing lesson plan. Lesson plan are the 2 types, which is the semi-detailed lesson plan and detailed lesson plan. Same teacher, they are the prepared to use the detailed lesson plan. And then lesson plan for the teacher is the important for them to know on how they are deliver. Their lesson will determine the learner's objectives. And this lesson plan will know the teachers on how their students progress. And this stage 2 planning, they are the 2 activities, which is the formal activities and informal activities. On the formal activities, which is the standardized test, so that example of this standardized test in the exam, summative, and quiz. This test develop this the thinking skill. And about the informal test, into example are the teacher, mid-test, portfolio, and including the meaning video, self-study, and reading article. And according to training industry, informal learning is the style of learning in which the learners set their own goal and objectives.
In this 3rd stage, assessment, the teachers implement their plan assessment to determine whether the students have met the intended learning outcomes. Basically, this is the steps assess student learning. Assessment is a plan in unintended outcomes, conceptualized and implemented during instruction and at the end of the instruction to determine whether the students have mastered the intended learning outcomes. Assessment can be done through research paper, exam, oral presentation, and performance projects. Research paper is a piece of academic writing that provides analysis, interpretation, and arguments based on in-depth independent research. It is similar to academic essays but usually longer and more detailed assignments, designed to assist not only your writing skills but also your skills in practical research. Exams or tests. To show knowledge and ability of a student, they can be a written test, an on-screen test, or a practical test. Oral presentations consist of an individual or group verbally addressing an audience on a particular topic. The aim of this is to educate, inform, entertain, or present an argument. An oral presentation assesses the presenter's ability to communicate relevant information effectively in an interesting and engaging manner. And lastly, performance projects, which are in-depth projects where performances demonstrate the student's understanding. It encompasses a wide range of activities, some of which can be incorporated in project or in problem-based learning and portfolios. Overall, student outcomes are what the students demonstrate that provide evidence that intended learning has occurred as a result of the instructional activities. And these results from the assessment can be used by the teachers to determine the next instructional steps for students. Every successful teaching experience or product development process needs to be thoroughly planned first, so much so that a special practice in the field of educational technology has been introduced, instructional system design, to facilitate the process with various tools. Today, we are going to talk about one of them, that is ADDIE model lesson plans, and how online tools and learning platforms such as EdApp can foster better results in ADDIE model application. What is ADDIE? ADDIE is an acronym for the 5 steps involved in the knowledge production process. Those are analysis, design, develop, implemented, and evaluate. The model has been used since the 1950s when it was implemented in the military training in USA, but it became common practice across other branches only in the 1970s.
First in analysis stage, designer, of course, most determine who is their target audience and evaluate the persisting declarative knowledge of future participants. In the vital step because allow to sketch out main goal of class, make sure the lesson communicates something new of audience, creating opportunity learners instead of repeating of they already know. To determine the content of class or a course, factors such culture, background, age, language, past, education goals should considered.
After the analysis comes from the design stage. Here are the course designers should focus on the training objectives, subject matters, analysis, resources, and planning. At this stage, in a corporate environment, IDS specialists collaborate closely with the subject matter experts who help to determine the scope of knowledge and skill that needs to be included in the course and develop a sustainable teaching plan. This stage calls for planning and design of the strategies geared towards attaining the goals determined in the analysis.
The development stage put theory into practice. The strategies outlined in design thus being implemented with real participants, either the mock-up course in the real one. As challenging as it may seem, there is other way prove in choosing methodologies and tools in fire for job. The development stage is still very much about testing and feedback, which is allow use to pinpoint drawback and hardness to deal with before letting course in out the world.
Finally, the course can be implemented. It is equivalent to letting the product roam free and observe the outcome. Experts say that this stage should not be free of constant evaluation and implementing modification where needed. IDS and students collaborate to achieve maximum efficiency and efficacy, engagement, and tool use optimization. Evaluation. Finally, in the evaluation stage, the learnings from each stage are being put together for the final assessment of the course. To be sure, there is not the only moment to look back at what turned out well and what didn't, as reflection and evaluation should be inherent in every step. Simultaneously, with other practices, cooperation with designers and students is crucial to the constant improvement of the course, and lessons learned will become invaluable in the next endeavors. It is worth mentioning, though, that using the ADDIE model lesson plan does not implicate a strictly linear process. Rather, the steps are designed to complement each other in an intertwined process of lesson construction and indicate what methods and tools should come in handy in each steps.